I'm supposed to have 15 down. I'm getting 24 down right now, so that's pretty good. 15 up.
Nice. That's why you host the Skype call.
Yeah.
Holy crap. This is not anywhere near what my speeds are advertised to be, so I will take that.
Have you complained before? Because I complained one time and they doubled my speed. I was like, what? How are you just gonna... Okay, whatever.
Wait, you complained that your speed was too fast, and then they doubled it?
Hey everyone, and welcome to Dem Guys podcast, where the second M in Dem is silent.
What does it stand for? Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
Nice.
we have 2 M's this week.
Good introduction. The only problem is we don't have an E.
Snow, you're the E. Just pretend.
There's no E. I guess, yeah, SnoShoe.
You replaced the E.
Yeah.
No, we're going by like last letter for me.
Okay.
Whatever.
Hello, Snow, how are you feeling?
Uncomfortable.
Okay. Hello, Slash, how are you doing?
My head hurts.
And I'm Drew. I am responsible for making this very awkward, and I apologize for that. And, yeah, we have another person here today. His name is aMillionMonkeyz.
Hello.
Greetings.
He's like a million people.
We don't have time for all of them to say hello, so he's just the spokesperson.
It was all in
One at a
unison.
Yeah, you may have heard of aMillionMonkeyz from such things as the question section of Dem Guys podcast.
It's greatest hits.
I do tend to ask a lot of questions.
And that is good, because we tend to not get a lot of questions other than yours, so we appreciate you helping us, add content to the podcast.
One of our loyal members aboard the listenership.
Well, it's like I'm getting a backstage tour of the ship.
You are, and it's really not as good as it looks on the outside.
So, thank you guys for having me on. And I don't know, I think most people who are listening to this probably have seen some of the UHCs that have come out. And I didn't want to post or say anything about this before a bunch of those came out, so I'm going to say it now because a bunch have been out. And if you haven't watched them yet, you should. Drew and Matt and Snow and a bunch of the other guys from the VintageBeef fan server and other places had a UHC. Is it season 5? Is that what it is?
Yep,
Season 5.
Season
yeah.
5.
Season 5. And I was invited to join, and needless to say, I didn't last very long. So, thank you guys for letting me join. Yeah, I didn't last very long, so that's why I'm going to apologize to Slash. I was on his team, and I never even saw him the entire time.
Because technically, you were on my team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where my explanation comes in. I did not record. Actually, this is the first thing that I've ever recorded, so there you go.
Ooh.
I didn't record the UHC, so I wanted to explain my point of view of what happened.
I was wondering about that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So the death message that came up said suffocated in a wall. But apparently
Right.
that's what happens when you get trapped in a cave and the world border passes
What?
you and you get to the dead end of the cave and you can't go any farther because you can't dig yourself out.
Oh, that's awesome. I really wish you would have recorded that. That would have been epic.
So I spawned in and I was like 5 blocks from the border.
Oh,
And I
wow.
didn't realize how quickly it moved or that it moved slowly. I thought it closed in incrementally. I was not familiar with how it worked. So I thought, I'm good for a while. It'll, close in eventually, but I'm good for a little bit. So I started chopping down the tree right next to me. And as I'm chopping, I can't chop anymore because the border has passed over the tree. I'm like,
Oh, gosh.
so maybe I should start moving. So I grabbed the wood that I could from what I chopped, and I started running to a nearby cave I saw. So I was like, this is great. I see a cave. There's iron and coal right there inside the cave. So I started going into the cave. I get the coal, I get the iron. I actually felt like I was doing pretty well. I had a whole lot of iron, and then I went deeper into the cave and deeper, and eventually I got to the end of the cave, and I wasn't paying attention, and the world border passed me,
It claimed your life.
and I was like, well, I just can't do anything. So I actually ran farther out of the border to kill myself quick.
In a moment of existential clarity. aMillionMonkeyz decides to end it all quickly instead of a slow, painful death.
Yeah. So that's what happened, and I'm sorry, Slash, that I was not able to assist you in any way whatsoever.
That's quite all right. It made for a very interesting season.
I think you also assisted in somebody else getting killed, so we'll give you an assist for that kill.
Huh?
Isn't this true?
I said I wasn't blaming it on him, but yeah,
I know. I gave him the assist.
I know what Snow is talking about.
I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, I saw him walk away, and he was still in the game, but like he walked past my
In real
room.
life, I walked away from my computer because I was thirsty and I was upset that I had died.
Yeah. So I pulled out my phone. I was hiding in a hole, but I wasn't crouching. I pulled out my phone and texted him and said, "Hey, there's spectator mode." And then I went back to my game and I climbed out of my hole and suddenly I got attacked from behind. So I wasn't crouching while I was texting him, but that was totally my fault. It wasn't.
We were just trying to give you an opportunity to test out your spectator mode. That was awesome. That's an amazing story. I was really hoping that you because like I haven't played Minecraft with you at all, so I was hoping it wasn't just like super embarrassing where you didn't really know what you were doing. You had gravel fall on your head or something.
I was really hoping that nobody thought that I was that stupid that I just was like, oh, there's some gravel. Ow, my head.
I mean, like it could have happened to anybody, but the fact that you were the guest and nobody had played with you there before, and it was like, so that's just kind of what I assumed. It was that you didn't actually know how to play Minecraft. But that's hilarious. From what I know, you are the first person to be claimed by the world border. I haven't watched, I guess, the newest season of UHC, but...
Well, you actually made mention of that in one of the previous podcasts, and I didn't know if you knew the story already.
Oh, no, I didn't. That's amazing. I'm an oracle.
You said something in one of the previous podcasts about getting passed over by the world border in a dead-end cave makes you scramble furiously or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I would imagine. I've played through the scenario in my head for sure. I actually I have been in the process of moving to a new house, but this is the first time the computer has been at the new house, and like the first time the internet's actually worked here, and it's great, and I love it, and I'm excited. So now I can actually start making videos and rendering stuff and getting files off my computer again.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So, like, the crazy thing about moving, though, is I don't have anybody to move any of this stuff with me. So I've moved, like, mattresses and box springs and computer desks and everything all by myself. And I wish I had a camera to videotape it, because it's the most embarrassing thing. I'm, like, rotating a desk up a flight of stairs, trying to get it up to where I need it to go, type stuff. But actually, so at the new house... It's built in 1971, so there's a couple of updates we want to do, like the walls are yellow in certain parts, and so we want to paint them. That's one of the easiest things you can do to make a house look how you want it to. So we decided that we're going to paint it this gray color, and so, you know, whenever you're going to paint something, you go to the paint store and pick out some colors, and then go home and paint a splotch on your wall and let it sit there for a little while and see if you like it. Well, my cat still lives in a different city from me, with my girlfriend, and she came over and brought my cat so she could see the house for the first time. And while we're deciding what paint colors we like, we're not really experienced painters. I mean, I used to paint in the summer one time, but I'm not like the best painter ever.
You used to paint in the summer one time.
Yeah, I did some painting back in my day. But so we're painting a splotch up on the wall to see how we like it. And my cat is like standing right under me and keeps getting in my feet and everything. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? So I walk up to paint a splotch on the wall and the paint drips. And like, not just a little drip, it was like a hardcore drip. And I'm pretty good at not dripping paint, man. But this paint, like this droplet, just slow motion, and I see my cat's eyes get wide, looking straight up at it. And the paint just falls, and then it hits her. And then there's a sheer moment of panic where me and my girlfriend and the cat just stand still for like 3 seconds. And we're just like, oh my god! And then my cat takes off running, runs into the kitchen, starts like licking it and slinging paint everywhere. So we have paint on the kitchen floor. She runs into the entryway, paint on the entryway floor. She runs into the living room, and I finally grab her there, take her to the sink, and I'm like, we gotta wash off the cat. And my girlfriend's like, I know. And she has the paintbrush in her hand. We don't have anywhere to put the dang paintbrush. And then, so I'm trying to like corral the cat and wash her, and she's freaking out, like scratching me and everything. And then she jumps out of the sink, and like I lose my grip on her. And then she rubs up against our backsplash in our kitchen. And then we finally managed to corral her, give her a bath, and wipe her down with the only towel we had in the house, which was one of my socks.
Wow.
So that's the story of how my cat painted my house.
Nice.
It was like sitcom style humor. It was awful, and we just stopped after it all got done. We just laid on the ground and started laughing. It was like yakety sax to the max.
All right, well, before we go any further, let's do our obligatory reminder for all of you on the listenership that you can reach us at our email address, which is demguyspodcast@gmail.com.
demguyspodcast@gmail.com.
We're also on Twitter at demguyspodcast.
At demguyspodcast.
Nice. There's like a sort of like, I want to say like Mexican, like
that
like
one was a little
wrestler
Mexican
vibe.
pirate. Yeah, there was totally some Mexican pirate thrown in the Twitter handle.
La Luchador! Dem Guys Podcast.
Arr, have a taco.
So is
I
that
love
like
guacamole.
riding a bicycle? You never forget how to do that? Cause
Exactly.
we've
I
been
don't.
going for several weeks, and you did that perfectly. So.
I want you guys to find me. Like, whenever I die, I'll be like 87 years old.
I was
and
just about to say, delirium will set in.
Exactly. And then I'll be laying on my deathbed. My wife will be standing over me. And she's like, it'll be okay. And I just say, DMGOS, as he slips into the eternal life.
Is it some sort of code?
That'd be like the Simpsons movie where the grandpa's talking about EPA, and it's EPA. Anyway, it's a good movie.
Oh man, but yeah, we thought, speaking of our email address and whatnot, contacting us with questions, we thought, hey, it's been quite a while since we've gotten a podcast episode out, like an actual podcast episode as opposed to the sideshow. So we're going to start off with the questions this time, because some of these questions are quite a few weeks old at this point. And those of you who have submitted questions, we don't want to keep you waiting any longer than we have to.
Nope. Sometimes you got to eat breakfast for dinner.
Yes, I love eating breakfast for dinner.
Me too.
I would prefer to do that every day.
I might do that in a minute.
Well, there you go. Good job.
Thank you, guys.
But SnoShoe, we're going to have you do your normal job here and start us off with the first question.
Okay. This question is from Mojo Fojo Jojo. He says, hey guys, I love your podcast and I have a little question for you. When you play games, do you prefer the original or the countless sequels? And do you think it makes the game better? Stay chunky. What?
I guess that's his thing.
Okay.
I prefer smooth peanut butter to chunky. So.
Actually, I prefer crunchy. I don't know about chunky. What
chunky sounds like something's gone wrong.
Yeah, it sounds like some of the peanut butter's like coagulated or something.
Oh, great.
Gross.
It depends with the original or the sequels. It depends on how well they've done the sequel, because sometimes the sequel can be worse, or sometimes it can be better. Like, for example, the first game that comes to mind is like Portal. Portal and Portal 2 were well enough done, the both of them, that I don't know whether it necessarily got better with Portal 2. I think the quality certainly didn't get any worse. It was just, I think, different.
I think
in that case, I like both of them. Like, I can play either one. I'm happy with them.
I think that's the mark of a good developer, honestly, is whether the second one builds on the first one, or is it just the same game again? Like, that's kind of why I'm impressed with our last guest, Q-Magnet, and Diversity, is he didn't just make the map to get a lot of downloads, and I don't even know if he makes money on it or not, but he made it better. He listened to what the community said about it, took the time to actually do it correctly, and now it's the most downloaded Minecraft map in history. So the same thing happened kind of with Assassin's Creed 2. They got a lot of feedback from Assassin's Creed and remade the game, but added a lot of the things that the people like most and took away a lot of the things that the people didn't like. So I guess Countless sequels is a little bit different, because I think once you hit a certain amount of sequels, then you better be doing some things different, or else I'm not going to play it. Yeah,
there's a point where there's how much more can you add to the game?
Yeah, it gets oversaturated.
To actually make it worth being, I'm looking right now at The Sims 2 and various expansion packs on my desk.
Oh no.
And I'm like, I don't know that they've managed to successfully improve upon their, brand with the sequels that they've come out with.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not play. Sims 2 was a definite improvement over the original Sims.
Yeah.
But I don't know that Sims 3 or is there Sims 4 now? I
Yeah.
don't remember. We
Yes,
talked
and-
about
Yep.
that. I
pretty
don't
much-
know that. Yeah, I don't know that those are worth it.
Yeah,
Especially
I
for
have
the
Sims
crowd.
3. I never played Sims 2. So Sims 3 is pretty fun, but yeah, I mean, I don't have that original experience, so I really don't know.
That's true. Sometimes whenever a sequel is more popular, you don't ever play the first one. So I guess in that respect, I do kind of like having sequels out there.
And then we sort of have to ponder the question of what makes a sequel really a sequel, because there's plenty of games out there that are like, title and then a number, right?
Final
But
Fantasy.
they're not. Yeah, well, exactly. Final Fantasy is a prime example of this. The Final Fantasy games, for the most part, are not sequels. Like,
Technically,
Final
only
Fantasy
13
X
is the prime example,
Yeah, I mean,
and 7. Snap.
Final Fantasy X is not a sequel to Final Fantasy IX. So
It's true.
For it to count as a sequel, I think it has to be a sequel in the same vein as a movie has a sequel, where there is a continuation of the story that was started in the previous movie.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I'd consider, is The Sims 2 a sequel to the original The Sims? I don't think so. Is Civilization 5 a sequel to Civilization 4? I wouldn't call them sequels. I would call them a reinvention of the same thing, an updating of the same thing, but it's not really a sequel in that respect. So
So if Minecraft 2 came out, it would be the same. It wouldn't be a sequel.
Right.
no, I wouldn't call it a sequel.
There's no way, because there's not a story. So it's the
'Cause
same
there's
thing
no-
with The
there's no
Sims.
story. Yeah.
Unless it
Now,
starts
I'll tell you
with,
what, though. If they managed to do something where there was a story where, they established a trailer or something at the beginning of it that you went through the portal in the end after defeating the End Dragon and you ended up in the Minecraft 2 gameplay version, and there's elements then that kind of carry over, they can create a story in a Minecraft 2 that, even though Minecraft 1 doesn't really have a story per se, they could create a story in a Minecraft 2 and
So
make
it's about the
it enough that I would
transition.
consider it. Yeah.
Interesting.
The
I would
dragon's
agree with
egg
that.
hatches and the baby dragon is out for revenge.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't get me
something
started.
along
That'd be
those
so
lines.
awesome.
Yeah.
Baby dragons flying around everywhere in the overworld.
I am disappointed that Mojang has not done more with the dragon egg. I think that something more needs to happen with the dragon egg.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be... Sorry, I was just going to say, wouldn't it be crazy if, one day, all those people who have, the dragon egg is, a monument or something, they put out an update that actually, dragons actually hatch out of it.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
so awesome.
Just,
They have
in
mods
the
that
middle
do
of
that,
your
but yeah.
base.
Yeah, Attack of the B Team has the Dragon Eggs mod, but that would be sick. Except that would kind of make me want to rage quit for sure. Dragons are extremely destructive.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't necessarily have to be. Maybe a baby Ender Dragon doesn't have the same terrain destructive powers.
Or maybe it
the
can't
adult.
open doors, so you just walk in your house and there's a dragon sitting there. You're like, oh my
Or
god.
maybe it teleports like an Enderman.
There
Oh
you
god,
go.
terrifying. All right, I think we should go on to the next question. We'll stay chunky for this one and let aMillionMonkeyz answer it. Those weren't related. I'm sorry.
All right. Hey, well, I actually had it written in a question a couple of weeks ago, so I guess I get to read it. I said, hey guys, you guys sure talk about a lot of video games and movies and TV, and I was wondering about your favorite music. What genres, artists, composers, or bands do you enjoy? Or on the flip side of that, instead of your favorite, is there any music you just cannot stand?
Why is it so much easier to answer the music you can't stand? I hate country music, any country music, and I want to... I don't know what I want to do, but it brings out the worst in me.
Yeah, I'm with you on the country music. My parents listened to nothing but country music while I was growing up, and I could tolerate it, but the older I got, the less I
Really?
could handle it. Yeah.
Do they listen to country music up in the Northeast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They
I figured,
definitely do.
I mean, obviously I'm from the South, so I figured there'd be a lot of, only what am I saying?
I don't know.
I figured I'd be the only one with experience in that regard, but
Taylor Swift grew up about 2 hours away from where I live.
she is not country anymore, but I'll give you that
Well,
she was
okay.
country at one point. But yeah, that actually kind of terrifies me because that means no matter where I go, I will not escape country music.
That
I
is
had hope
correct.
until now.
Maybe if you flee the country.
Maybe I'll just start playing country music.
Both
Flee the country.
both figuratively and literally.
Yikes.
Country.
Oh, you're 0 for 2 tonight, Drew.
Oh man.
I'm 0 for 1 with my prime numbers joke, so it's okay.
Well, what about stuff that you do like, Snow? Is there anything that is there a particular genre of music you tend to gravitate toward?
I was actually thinking about this today, oddly enough, and I didn't even know this was on here. So my favorite bands are Death Cab for Cutie, Ben Folds, and I like a lot of hip hop, which is weird, but I like Wale and he was popular a little while ago, but his name's Kanan. He did the anthem for the World Cup 4 years ago, and he has a lot of other really cool songs. But those are my 4 favorite artists, and Switchfoot. I like Switchfoot. So there you go.
Cool.
I already had my answer pre-canned.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
My music tastes are a little odd compared to most people. I tend to most of the music that's on my phone, which is where I listen to my music, is like soundtrack stuff. It's like off
Lion
of video
King?
games or off of TV shows or off of movies. There's not a whole lot of music that I listen to that's just music that was like produced just to be listened to, and not produced for the purposes of being, a song in a show that does songs. Like Phineas and Ferb has a song pretty much every episode, and they have a lot of really great, hilarious songs that they do on that show.
Yep.
So I have some of their albums and stuff like that. But there's not a whole lot that I have on my phone that I can say is intended, that was originally intended just to be listened to. That's not part of something else. If that makes any sense.
Interesting. I wonder what that says about you as a person. We need to ask somebody.
Yeah. I'll ponder that.
Yeah. While Drew answers his portion of the question.
Yep.
All right. So, I wouldn't say there's any specific type of music that I don't like. There's certainly ones that I don't really enjoy a lot of the songs, but I would say pretty much every genre I like at least one song. But I mean, I don't necessarily know of all of the genres, but all the ones that I've heard, I like polka? A few country songs and I like a few hip hop songs. But those definitely are my favorite genres. As for music that I like, my favorite artist is 2 Steps from Hell, which, I mean, they make like soundtrack music for trailers and stuff. So there's that, and then I also love Lindsey Sterling, and there are a lot of groups that have that are just made for listening to that I listen to as well. Like Yellow Card is also one of my favorites. I realize I like a lot of bands that have violin in them, apparently. But,
I don't have a violin. I need a
Yellow
violin.
Card is I don't know what style they technically are, but
It's kind of like a punk rock with violin.
yeah, I guess you could say that. So yeah,
I wonder what that
I
says
like a lot
about
of
you.
different stuff.
That you don't dislike anything, really.
As long as it has a violin in it.
Yeah.
Well, but no, there's country music that I
It has a fiddle.
like and that has, yeah.
Fiddle and violin are very different.
I mean, it's the same instrument. It's different styles.
That's what I'm saying. I can't handle... I mean, so, Charlie Daniels, fiddle, yeah, okay, that's awesome. But, I don't know, Martina McBride or something fiddle? Get it out of here. Anyway. Well, I think that about wraps that up. Do you have a... Oh, I guess... What about you, aMillionMonkeyz?
answer
I
your
didn't know if I had to answer my own question or not.
Sure,
Yes,
you can be
you do.
introspective.
All right. Well, my favorite overall genre is probably rock, and I like other genres, but that's probably the one I like the most of, and I like the most wide variety of it. I like anything from real classic rock, from well, I'm thinking more like AC/DC and stuff, and even more classic than that would be like Beatles, but to much newer stuff. I don't know if you know the band Skillet or not. That's one of my absolute favorite bands.
Yeah, they're good. I've
Yep.
got one of their albums. When CDs were popular. Back in the day.
Oh, maybe that's another question, if you guys don't
Oh
mind.
gosh. He's just coming up with questions like a whirling dervish. We have to stop him.
Yeah, save it for next time.
Okay.
You got to go through the proper channels here. This is not,
That's true.
you
You can't just ask him verbally.
We're not fast and loose with our question
You
section.
have to send them to demguyspodcast@gmail.com. All right,
Or,
question
you know,
number
just-
C. I'm going to go ahead. Hey guys, from Sarah J. MCB, another one of our loyal listenership buckaroos. She says, which one of you is the tallest? I know you all haven't met, so this may be informative for you too. Smiley face.
I'm taller than Drew.
Okay.
Yes.
I know that much.
Drew, you're kind of tall, aren't you? I mean, like, not super
Not
tall.
really. No, not really. I'm like 5'9".
Okay, how tall are you, Matt? Slash.
6'4".
What?
Oh gosh,
Oh,
Yeah,
you win probably.
what about you, Snow?
I'm 5'11".
I'm 6 foot even. So
Nice.
I'm the tallest of the regulars.
Nice. Yeah, you're probably like, I'm more like 5'10" and 3/4, but always round up.
That's my wife. My wife is a solid 5'1 3/4. like you cannot stretch that to 2 inches. Like she's like right at 3/4, right? But she'll say 5'2".
Does she get offended if people call her short?
No, she doesn't get offended.
Okay.
She's just.
In that
One of her-
case, whenever you're measuring at that point, just stick with short. You don't need to say the actual.
And my wife is short. Period.
Perfect. So, aMillionMonkeyz are all standing on top of each other to be 6'4" and be the tallest person on the podcast. Congrats.
Those are some really small monkeys.
Yeah, they're like a barrel of monkeys. I wonder how tall a million barrel monkey. Okay. Anyway, you should move on.
Yes.
Barrel
Well,
monkey
speaking of
monkey.
things stacked on top of each other,
See what I did for you?
you did. Apparently, and I got this link from Fu Mandunian, and we'll include it in the description, but apparently, a Tetris movie is in the works. Do not adjust your headphones. A Tetris movie. Now, apparently...
Best soundtrack ever.
It's a very good soundtrack.
It's gonna be on Slash's new playlist.
Apparently, the concept behind it is they're going to turn it into some sort of big sci-fi movie.
Like Tron.
I got the impression that they were probably going to rip off Tron.
Jeez, that's just gonna kill
No.
things.
Now, the thing is, though, that the guy that's behind it was also behind the 2 Mortal Kombat movies that came out back in the 90s. And while they weren't, like, epic films in terms of, like, critics were not going to rave over Mortal Kombat, no Emmys or Oscars would be given out for that. They were entertaining. So
How are they gonna give out
it
Oscars
should've-
for Tetris though? Like, and the Golden Globe goes to the long 4-piece. We know you know how to come down the aisle.
for best supporting player.
Yeah, I've known about this I forgot about this.
Yeah, it's been the story came out like a month ago now.
Yeah, and I'm just picturing they made Battleship, and they had this whole sci-fi alien thing, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
With Rihanna.
Right.
Like, what's
Yeah.
Rihanna doing in that movie? Is she just really like Battleship or something? Or what the heck, guys? Come on.
And as far as I know, I didn't actually see the movie. I saw the trailers. And I'm like, I don't want to see that.
You
I
shouldn't.
never
It was
went and
bad.
seen that one.
So I don't even know, other than the fact they were on battleships. I don't know what it has to do with the game. So I can't even imagine what this Tetris movie is going to be. Like, is it like the game of Tetris, like you have to play it to unlock some like space weapon?
That's what
It's
it
gonna
like.
be so like unrelated to the actual to the source subject matter.
It has to be. Because if
I
you think
mean,
about
this-
Tron, they were able to do like the light bike thing, and
Right.
you get it. There's people riding light bikes, and if that was in real life, that would be awesome. But if I walked
Right.
outside and there were just square pieces falling from the sky, I don't care. I mean, I do care because it probably means the end of times. But aside from that, it's like, what?
I'm very much hoping that the spaceships are shaped like our Tetris pieces, and it's like the way that they are invading is that they are like landing and like stacking up on each other. And
Least
whenever they
aerodynamic
complete a line, lasers shoot out and destroy all of our fighter jets that are trying to save the world.
Well, we need
I
to
don't
get
know,
in contact with the producers. That's for sure.
Yeah, I have no idea how that. I want it to be made now. now that they have said that they're working on it, I want it to be made. I want it to be released. I want to view it.
I want to
just
watch
to
Rip
see. Yes, exactly.
Did we determine who's making this? Is this just like some guy, like Bill in his basement?
It's called Threshold Entertainment.
So it is Bill in his basement.
It's like I said, it's the same company that was behind the Mortal Kombat game.
Okay, yeah.
Movies.
Sorry.
But yeah, I don't know a whole lot about this Threshold Entertainment, but apparently they have done a lot of animation stuff lately, including projects with Marvel and Lego, and they've done some Star Wars stuff. So they seem like they're not, some guy in his basement. They seem like they have the resources to pull off a big budget movie.
I can't imagine it's going to be too big of too big of a budget. I don't know. They've got to go with like a Pinball Wizard theme or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So speaking of sci-fi movies, I just wanted to update you guys really quick. Lazer Team, which is the Rooster Teeth movie,
multi-million-dollar movie,
just started filming. So very excited about that. It's supposed to come out like spring 2015. I think.
Okay,
that's
so
a quick
like 6
turnaround.
months. Yeah.
They just started filming. That's pretty quick to turn around a movie.
Yeah, and they have announced the actors, or at least some of them, and like they are having just some of the guys from Rooster Teeth, but they're also having some pretty well known actors. There's someone from Parks and Rec.
Who is it?
I'd have to look it up.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I did that to you. I hope it's Nick Offerman. I doubt it.
No, it's not. I wish it was. I know who that is, and that would be awesome.
So let's see. Alan Richson is...
Who you may know as the voice of Raphael from the newest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
For those of you that went and saw the newest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie and don't value your childhood.
Yeah.
I
had to have a talk with my son. My son is 7 years old. I had to have a talk with him and explain to him the current Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is forbidden. If he can find the 90s cartoon, he is more than welcome to watch that.
That's awesome.
I'll just say,
okay, what about
I never watched the 90s cartoon, and I thought the movie was pretty good. But
okay.
That's why you thought so.
Right. It's like reading the book before you watch the movie. What about the live-action movies of the 90s also? Like the robotic ones, Master Splinter.
He's 7. I would want him to be a little bit older before we watch the live action turtle movies.
Okay. The one where they go on stage with Ice Cube.
What's that?
Isn't there one where they go on stage with Ice Cube and dance to the Ninja Turtle rap song?
Yeah, they might have done that.
Wow.
That does sound familiar.
That's awesome.
That makes it sound so much more lame than my memory would claim.
So I can't find the name of the person who was. I thought someone was on Parks and Rec. I can't find it.
That's cool.
Though.
I'll believe you. That's your homework, listenership.
Go out and find it yourself.
And
what
write
do you
the
think
comment
we're here for?
in the description. In the description? What? In the comments.
There you go.
YouTube might be broken, so you might have to write the comment in the description.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of YouTube, you may have noticed from some of us that there is a new series out on YouTube, CarnisTerra, which is the new name for the VintageBeef fan server.
Yeah, gross. Why?
I know, it's such a horrible name. I don't know what moron came up with this. Someone with a Latin fetish.
Yes, Latin.
It was SnoShoe.
I don't even know Latin. I just made it up and pretended it was Latin, and everybody believed me.
It's vaguely Latinish. It's Latin adjacent.
Google said it was Latin.
No, it's a very good name. It works very well, I think, for the server.
We actually voted on it. We had like 20 people vote, and it got almost half of the vote, and one of them wasn't even mine. So
I just wanted to say that my name that I suggested, I didn't really expect anyone to vote for it, but yeah, no one voted for it. So
I didn't expect anybody to vote for it, but nobody voted for it.
I thought maybe there'd be one.
Monkeyz is working in the background here. I see that he's identified Colton Dunn as the actor from Parks and Rec.
And you all fail your homework because aMillionMonkeyz is better than you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't want to cut in and say it, but
No,
I
you
All right,
wanted
we
to
got
make sure
our
you-
reporter in the field.
Yeah, we do. aMillionMonkeyz in the field. Who's the actor? Oh, Colton Dunn. Okay, good.
Back to you in the studio.
What
But yeah,
studio?
CarnisTerra. So like, what? We have our own studio. Okay, just pretend, Drew.
Yeah, it's a distributed studio. It's a studio of the future.
It is.
Okay.
You're not there yet. But
I'm
CarnisTerra has started the new VintageBeef fan server, the rebranded VintageBeef fan server, with some new facets to Minecraft.
Yes,
Well,
well,
kind of.
sort of. We started out with a world border. It's gone now. We didn't like it.
As of a couple days ago.
Yeah, so that's not so much of a thing now. But one of the things I know that I'm focusing on, and I think some other folks are trying to focus on as well, is more of an emphasis on collaborative builds and trying to stay closer together and doing stuff where things. It doesn't feel like we're all just playing single player Minecraft.
Because why would you play single player Minecraft? This is the one downfall of Minecraft, I think. Why, especially like Mindcrack, why would you play... Ethan does a really good job with this. I'm not actually going to finish this sentence. Why would you play single player Minecraft on a server if nobody else is on?
Right.
Like, that's what I don't understand about people who go and run everywhere, and it's like, do you really enjoy... Because whenever people get on the server, you don't really have conversations. Like, we have more conversation in our Skype chat than we do on the server. You kind of say, hey, maybe a what you doing, and then maybe a tiny little bit of communication, but aside from that, there's nothing further. So, unless you're doing community builds, what's the point of playing on a server?
Right. Well, I will say that the server chat has been a little bit more active since we've started this map. So
that's
it's a
good.
new name. So things are pretty good. It seems like we're keeping a pretty good pace here. People are still maintaining interest. So kind of fingers crossed that this doesn't die out quite as fast as the last time, because it seemed like the last map everybody ran off and then we just kind of stopped playing as a community. There were only a handful of us that were on a regular basis, and everybody else went off to do other things.
Yeah. Well, the thing that's going to kill it is, I don't want to be pessimistic, but that's my life. The thing that's going to kill it is when they come out with another terrain update. Or there's talk, there's always talk that the next update is going to be seasons, but this next update might be seasons. Mm-hmm. So you would think maybe seasons might include some different terrain generation. And if that happens...
I hope not. I swear, if they change the terrain gen again...
Right.
I'm of the opinion... there's this whole thought process, it seems, in the community that Minecraft 2.0 has to be some revolutionarily different thing from Minecraft 1.0.
Right.
Or 1.x. I'm of the opinion that when they went to when they were in beta, between beta 1.7 and 1.8, they changed the terrain gen. They did a whole bunch of different stuff. That's when they added, like, swamps and, the oceans changed. Like, everything about the terrain gen was different in beta 1.8. Right? And then they went to 1.0 and they released, and it was like, okay, great, this is the full release of Minecraft, this is what we've got. And then it's like either 1.1 or 1.2, that's when they added jungles. And all of a sudden, now we're getting terrain borders and stuff,
Yeah.
And then, we've had that, like 1.6, I guess, was the one that added horses and added a bunch of, like,
all the biomes.
All of that stuff. So I'm of the opinion that when they change the terrain generation, that you're going to end up with chunk borders in your world. That's a version update. That's like, okay, now we're Minecraft 2.0.
Then we'd be on like Minecraft 6 right now.
Well, yeah,
or at least
and we would
3.
be. And I'm fine with that. I think that would probably have been a better idea. And then when you do that, when you make that major change to the game, I think that you still support the previous version for a period of time.
Right.
You have them go in parallel. You don't have just one active release.
It's just tough.
That's just, as someone who has done development work and has strong opinions on software development, that's I think the better way of handling a piece of software than the way they've been handling it.
Yeah, and as far as I know, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen a game that has a single server stay up for more than a year type thing, where without any kind of... it doesn't seem like there's anything to compare it to. Like, this is the first of its kind where
right.
what you're doing is eventually going to get reset. Like, you play MMOs and stuff, and it's not going to get reset. I mean, for the most part.
Yeah.
But this is where the community itself, your small community, you may have a server of 6 people, and you're going to reset your server and basically undo everything that you've done for the past year. And so, I don't know, it's kind of making people make those decisions based on what Mojang decides to do with the updates, and it's kind of uncharted waters.
But it keeps
it's
you coming
very odd.
back.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the point releases and everything, and I love the snapshots, but it does create this kind of weird paradigm.
Yeah, I think we need to go at least one full release cycle. I don't want any terrain gen changes in 1.9.
Well, there were terrain gen changes in 1.8. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Why did they... I don't know. Like, the graphite and the andesite and the diorite are cool, but make them craftable. Don't make them spawn in the world.
Well,
Yeah.
they made them craftable too, though. I
Right,
don't
make
mind
them
the
only
fact that
craftable.
I don't mind. I don't mind that they added them to the terrain gen. I honestly don't, because it doesn't bother me when the terrain generation changes if it doesn't cause chunk borders.
Okay.
You know, as long because there's no chunk borders between 1.7 and 1.8 because the algorithm used to generate the actual terrain, the lay of the land, did not change. That what changed was which stone gets spawned as stone and which gets spawned as these other 3 types.
Yeah,
And,
that makes
and
sense.
that doesn't really impact things too much. You might notice a chunk border in a cave because all of a sudden here's a line where you go past that and you've got a whole bunch of this new stuff showing up. But up on the surface, you're not going to notice. It's going to be a smooth transition from the one older terrain to the newer terrain. That I'm okay with. But it's whenever they make big changes where it's like all of a sudden now I'm standing at the top of a ginormous sheer cliff, you know, with that at the bottom of which, you know, right under the ocean is half of a spawner room. It's just that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
When you change it to that degree,
It's a little game breaking.
yeah, and that's, in my opinion, that's the only reason to reset a Minecraft map, because the terrain changed significantly that you get those chunk borders.
I'll give you
Yeah.
lag. I think you have to reset because of lag.
See, I don't understand how a map can get laggier over time.
Right?
Yeah.
Why do item frames lag Minecraft? How
Yeah,
come we had to go and destroy all of our item frames and spawn?
Yeah, so anyway, I think we've been on this topic long enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, the takeaway from it is we reset our map. We're brand new name, same
And we're
great
angry
people.
about it.
And everything's been going well with the new map so far. I mean, I assume so. I don't know. I never see Snow or Drew on. So
Well, my computer has not been plugged into the wall in quite some time.
And I was waiting for the world border to get to where I wanted to be.
Well, now it's gone, so you better
Yep.
hop on, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, go
I was
to.
on earlier today.
Very good. aMillionMonkeyz, why aren't you on?
Because no one invited me.
Oh.
You can come over to my place, just we won't tell anybody.
Okay.
I have a little hole in the ground, you can stay there. I did read a Reddit post the other day, like it's secrets about Reddit, and some guy sold his house, but he built a bunker in the backyard, and he's been living in the bunker of the house he sold, so he doesn't have to pay any mortgage.
Wow.
Yeah, 800 square foot bunker, and the new family that moved in doesn't know. Anyway, sorry, I digress.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was
Everyone on
Wow.
the internet does.
welcome to Reddit.
Oh, man.
So, speaking of Minecraft, sorry, I know I'm terrible with the transitions. We had another DrewHC, which is what we apparently started calling the UHCs that I organized with just a bunch of my friends.
I want to take credit
It's
for
a
that. I
very
don't know
clever name.
if I did that, but for some reason
No,
I think I did.
I think you are the first person to call it DrewHC.
I'm going to contest that claim.
Oh, no.
think I'm the first one to call it DrewHC.
Oh, I don't
Uh-oh.
remember.
Dun, dun,
I'm
dun,
sorry.
dun.
Um,
Dun, 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 dun.
Why are we going to the People's Court over this issue?
Well, anyway, we had technically season 3, even though the first time we did it wasn't called DrewHC at all. Technically, we had season 3 just a couple weeks ago, and we started posting episodes. By the time I forgot to post my episode earlier today. By the time the podcast is out, there should be 2 out and a third one coming later today. But yeah.
I'm sad I had to
ended
miss
up-
it. My computer wasn't plugged in, but so how did it go?
We had 6 people on an 1800 by 1800 world.
Oh gosh. So it might be a couple episodes before.
So it was
Maybe.
a little big. I was planning for about double the amount of people, and then a whole bunch of people backed out. And it was fun. We had, let's see, it was myself, Neon Tiger, Caleb West, Mr. Ref, DJ Ducky Duck, and Jack Rippington. So, couple of
Alfie Craft and-
CarnisTerra.
Yeah, CarnisTerra. CarnisTerrites.
Sorry.
CarnisTerrites.
CarnisTerrans. No, it's
CarnisTerrans.
CarnisTerrans.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. A couple
That's
CarnisTerrans
the way the word
and a
works.
couple Alfie Crafters. So, it was fun though.
I didn't
And-
win, guys, just to spoil it. I did not repeat as champion of DrewHC.
Because you didn't play.
I know. I was sitting there, like, looking at my computer. I was like, no, I'm just a black screen.
Doesn't that just mean that you and the winner of this one have to have a one-on-one battle?
We do. We have to have an upwards shooting arrow battle.
There you go.
Actually, Snow, you and I still need to do that. But
I know. From, like, a year ago.
yeah. So moving on. Other things that I've played recently. It's been a while since we've kind of just talked about games that we're playing, and so I just wanted to bring up, I've been playing a lot of Destiny, which I remember when it first came out, I was like, oh, I'm not going to get it. I played the beta, and it was okay, but it's something about Destiny. I don't know what it is. I heard someone describe it, though, and it was the perfect description for my experience with Destiny. It doesn't have an amazing story. It's not that amazing of a game, yet something about it keeps bringing you back and you want to keep playing more and more and more. And so I've been playing so much of that game.
I think the graphics really, really help it. I played a little bit over the weekend, and I played on my friend's TV, and he has a really nice TV and a brand new PS4 and everything, and it just looked so nice. I was like, I just want to walk around.
See, that's not even the reason Drew keeps playing it, because on his TV, things that are supposed to be square look like rectangles.
It's because
You have the wrong aspect.
I don't have an HD TV, so it's...
Okay, so it's something, we've eliminated that.
And I'm also playing on 360, so it's earlier gen. But
I didn't know it even released for 360. I thought it was a PS4 release. Did it release
so-
at the same time for 360?
Yep.
yeah, PS3, PS4, Xbox
I guess it is-
360, and Xbox One.
Yeah, I guess it is Bungie, so that makes sense.
So yeah, I've been playing a ton of Destiny, and then I would be playing Borderlands the pre-sequel, which came out last week, but my copy has not arrived yet. I pre-ordered it. It was supposed to come in the mail,
Oh, gosh.
and I'm still waiting on it. So, yeah, I can't wait because I love Borderlands, but it's just like, yeah.
So, Drew, do you actually, going back to Destiny real quick, do you actually know who Peter Dinklage is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who doesn't?
Does he not do a terrible voice acting job in that?
A lot of people say that. I know who he is, but like for me, the thing I think of him from, like the thing I've sort of seen him the most in or whatever, is Chronicles of Narnia: Prince Caspian. So
It's true.
he's
forgot about
not
that.
even like a super major part in that. So
Yeah.
like I know who he is and stuff, but it's not like I had super high expectations.
See, I'd watched him in
Peter
in
Dinklage.
Nip Tuck, which is a really good show. I don't know, nobody else watches it. I thought it was a really good show. And then obviously Game of Thrones, and he's so charismatic and like he's able to do a lot of things different actors aren't able to do. And in this game, he's a floating robot, and he delivers the most flat lines you've ever seen or heard.
Well, I think it's partially because he's supposed to be a robot.
But he's a robot with a personality. I mean, you're in the future. He's a flying robot. He has his own brain. It's not like he's just, I am Peter Dinklage. Go over here. He has his own personality, but there's nothing to it. I don't know. If they were going to use somebody who, if they needed a voice that didn't have any emotion to it or personality, then don't get Peter Dinklage to do it.
They have quite a few, not nearly as big name actors, but they have quite a few actors that I've heard of anyway, that do voices in it. There are like a couple of the different people who will give you missions. There is Nathan Fillion is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds familiar. Is he a Doctor Who thing?
No, he was
Firefly.
on Firefly. And
sorry, guys.
Castle.
Yeah, and then I forget the actress's name, but she's also in Firefly. And
Which one
and
did
in
she play?
Suits.
Suits.
Oh.
I watched Suits.
Yeah, it's Jessica from Suits.
Oh, cool. She's a nice lady.
And then Claudia Black also has a very minor role, which she is in Stargate and Stargate SG-1, I guess I should clarify. And I can't think of what else I've seen her. But yeah, so
Farscape.
a bunch of different... Oh, right, Farscape. So yeah, a few different sci-fi actors. Pretty cool.
This is kind of weird having aMillionMonkeyz on because nobody normally knows what Drew's talking about.
Most of the time, anything that he's watched, I've watched. So
Yeah.
I understand what he's trying to say. So Drew said that he's been playing a lot of Destiny. I just looked up my stats. I've played almost 80 hours of it, and it's been out less than a month.
How many hours?
80?
Oh, wow.
Wow. Jeez. Have you figured out your destiny yet? Like, what else is there to do? A lot of grinding,
so
I'm
much
assuming.
fun.
Okay.
Even the parts that are grindy are just so much fun.
Alright, I believe you. If you're going to devote 80 hours to the game, it must do something for you. So
Well, let's say
I only played it for like 30 minutes, so.
Yeah, I was sick for a week, and so I was doing nothing but that for about 4 days straight. But
I want to be sick. That sounds awesome. Not like Ebola sick, but like just a little sneezy.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, you
else?
know what else is sick?
Speaking of Ebola, sorry.
This new series idea that you have, SnoShoe, that's what's sick.
It wasn't my idea.
I mean, it kind of was. It was just a misreading.
Misinterpretation of my
Yeah,
idea.
So
That's how people get killed.
Snow tweeted.
Misinterpreting SnoShoe's ideas can be fatal.
Surgeon General's warning.
Snow tweeted earlier something about having a thought in the shower, and he had a great idea for a new series, and he wanted to have...
We gotta read this actual tweet, because on my first read through of it, I thought the same thing that you did.
Really?
Okay.
When this
Good.
first came up. Okay. Had a fun shower thought today. Think I'm gonna try it out as a series for a bit, but I'm going to need some creativity from my viewers. Now that sounds like shower thoughts are going to be a series on your channel.
So, yeah, basically
so.
the first time I read it, I had to reread it. First time I read it, I missed the word thoughts, so I read had a fun shower today.
Had a fun shower. Who says that? Had a great shower today, Ted. Oh, great, Bill.
And then when I saw thoughts for half a second, I was like, so is he doing like Tuesday evening drive, but like
But in the shower.
Monday evening shower. It's my
Sunday
only
evening
shower.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So then I was like, wait, are you doing a shower vlog? And then Caleb said he would do co-op.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
even respond to that because I didn't want
Yeah.
to. I didn't want to accidentally consent to that or anything of the sort, so I just let it be. Yeah, no collaborations with the shower vlog. But actually what I want to do, and I don't really have any reason not to reveal it, I've wanted to play Sims 4 on my channel for a little bit, so I want to do like a Sims 4 crossed with Mad Libs. So I get my viewers to give me like nouns and adjectives and whatever, and then we throw it into a Mad Lib and kind of create some of my characters' stories, backstories.
I
don't
like
know.
it.
We'll see
Yeah.
if it works, but I thought it would be interesting.
Approved. That has
Yeah.
the / seal of approval.
Thanks.
Sounds like
You have a medal that you didn't earn from a long time ago that you can use as your seal of approval. Anyway, moving on. I was looking up some topics for today, and I found a really cool new game by the makers of Surgeon Simulator, which we all know and love. And this new game is called, I think it's called Bread. And you are a piece of bread. And as a piece of bread, you have to figure out how to, I don't know what you do. What does bread do? Like stay in a loaf?
How to get in the toaster?
I think that is actually part of it. Like, so what I've seen, there's a couple of gauges, and you have like a deliciousness gauge or something, and like a sogginess gauge, and I think you have an objective, I don't know, there's a lot of speculation about it because it's not actually fully released yet, obviously, but some people are saying it's kind of like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, where you could, like, it's a kind of open concept type deal, and kind of like Goat Simulator, where you're able to go, I don't know, earn all these achievements and get all these points and everything and unlock different things by becoming a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something, or becoming a piece of toast or French toast. But it's also taking the controls from kind of like QWOP and Octodad, where you have to use different buttons for different corners of the toast and like reach things and just make it really awkward to do. Also from Surgeon Simulator. So I think it's going to be, you're definitely going to see a lot of LPs on it when it comes out, because it is the makers of Surgeon Simulator and it's ridiculous. So there's going to be a lot of people doing it. But it's going to be interesting. I'm excited for it.
So just to clarify, the title of the game is I Am Bread.
I Am Bread. Okay.
Yeah, that's the full title of the game.
Yeah, you can Google it yourself. We're not putting a link in the description, just in case. Just in case it turns out to be a failure.
And then people, if anyone sees your Google search history and they're like, do you need to talk to someone? You think
I am bread. Hear me roar. Yeah.
Bread?
So another game that's not as carbohydrate loaded is Missile Wars by Seth Bling and Cube Hamster. Have you guys heard of Missile Wars? Hamster. Sorry, I always put a P in there. Cube Hamster.
No, I heard what you said. That's a really funny name.
Yeah, Cube Hamster. Like, anyway.
I heard it teased. I didn't actually check it out in terms of gameplay or whatever.
I guess I'll go over it quickly because I want to play it, and there's servers open for it right now. Actually, Omok just set up a server for us if we want to play it. But so what it is Seth Bling and Cube Hamster, like I said. Cube Hamster knows how to make like these crazy flying slime block missile contraption things, and I have no idea how to do any of that stuff, so that's beyond my expertise. But Seth Bling knows how to do all the command block stuff, so they came together, and now there's this game where there's two teams, and you're on opposite sides from each other, and you're basically just looking across at a blank space that falls into the void, and you're standing on 4 or 5 layers of glass, and every 5 or 6 seconds or so, actually 11 seconds, you're given a new item, and the item can be a type of missile or some kind of defense item, but basically you can click below you and launch a missile to the other side. And behind your glass are 2 different nether portals, and the first team to break the other team's nether portal with a missile or any of the other items wins the game. So it's actually really cool. They've done a lot of really cool missiles on there, like you can throw a shield out, and then there's a type of missile that's a shield buster, or there's a type of missile that just has a ton of TNT on it that's going to blow up. But the cool thing about it is that once you launch a missile, you jump onto that missile and try to ride it to the other side, and like you can launch a missile off of the missile you're standing on, and it gets crazy. And there's people trying to defend, and like they jump onto your missile and try to hijack it and punch out all the TNT while you're standing on it. It's really cool. There's a video of some of the Minecrackers playing it.
This sounds fantastic. I definitely want to check this out.
Yeah, if we can't, I'm going to attempt to play tonight since I have my internet set up, but we should definitely do a mini-series on it, mini-game on it.
I don't know if I can even comprehend what you were just explaining without
You
seeing
can't.
it.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, you can check out the video. It's you can look on Aurelian or Just Spawn or Captain Sparkle's channel. Or Seth Bling, I guess. He is the maker of the game.
Well, I'm pretty sure other people posted, I think Nebris had a video on it or something?
Yeah, Nebris was in the same game.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the debut game or whatever. Seth Bling always gets those guys to do the first game of it. But I have tons of new games to talk about. So another new game that is a little more popular than both of those is Civilization Beyond Earth. Now, is this game going to be any good? Is it going to be any different than Civilization 5? Well, it is going to be a little bit different, but the amazing thing about it is the trailer, and that's going to be my recommended video of this week. The Civilization Beyond Earth trailer. I had all of the Dem Guys and aMillionMonkeyz, who's the silent M. I had all of them watch it before this podcast, and I think we were all in agreement that it was a pretty darn cool trailer.
It was.
It was a very cool trailer.
We're also in agreement that we don't know what it has to do with the game.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that they're going to space. So I'll have a link in the description. You guys can check it out. But I totally want to go to space. Drew, do you want to go to space? I can hear it in your voice.
No, I actually don't really.
Fine. Never mind.
I'd be like scared of like the ship breaking and like suffocating to death or something.
What if you didn't have a choice, though? Like, what if the world was ending?
I don't know.
All right, fine.
Can I just say about that trailer that actually seemed like the past of what the story of Destiny is almost? Because
Really?
in Destiny, there's a spot you can go to that has like those giant missile shuttle things from almost like the Beyond Earth trailer had. In
Huh.
So the whole time I was watching that, it seemed like the past of Destiny.
Did it make you want to go to space, aMillionMonkeyz? You should be well trained.
It made me want to play more Destiny.
That's probably not what they were looking to do. Well, actually, so I watched this trailer like right at the same time. I had just seen another trailer for a new movie by all of our favorite director, I'm assuming, because he's everybody's favorite director, Christopher Nolan. And can you guess one of the actors in the movie?
It's the guy who takes his shirt off.
Well, that's one of them.
I
But
forget his name.
who is always in Christopher
Matthew
Nolan
McConaughey,
movies? That's not who I'm talking about.
Anne Hathaway.
Well, she's in it, but not the answer. Listenership, do you know?
I don't know why I can't remember names tonight. Christian Bale?
Nope. Although he's in a few of them. The answer, my friends, is Michael Caine. He's been in like 7 out of 11 or 12 of Christopher Nolan's movies. But yeah, this movie is... I've kind of looked through the plot, and I think I might know a little bit of a spoiler, so I won't spoil it. But there's a ton of really good name actors in this. Basically, Earth has another dust bowl, it looks like, and they have to go into space to try to find a new planet to... I'm trying to not get this confused with the trailer, the Beyond Earth trailer. But
Or Destiny.
They actually have to go... Okay, this is it. They have to go into space and try to go through a wormhole to another space-time in order to save the world.
I did see this being advertised. I forget when I saw a trailer for this.
It
might have been, you know what? It might have been right before the Doctor Who premiere.
Yeah.
In theaters. That's probably
that
when
would
I
make
saw
sense. Yeah, it's very timey-wimey. But with all the big name actors, like, these are not just big name actors, these are really good actors. Like, Matthew McConaughey is a great actor. Anne Hathaway is a great actress. It's got Casey Affleck. I wouldn't call him a great actor, but he's in it. Michael Caine's a great actor. It's got the girl from Zero Dark 30, Jessica Chastain. She's in it.
it. Ooh, John Lithgow.
He's it. Wow, I didn't even see that.
Topher Grace.
Matt Damon makes a short appearance in it for some reason. But yeah, everybody wants to work with Christopher Nolan, I guess. But this movie comes out like 5 days after Beyond Earth. Is that not weird?
It's a little weird, yeah.
But
Apparently,
this movie...
space is like the thing to be releasing this fall.
Well, the weird thing is that, so like, this was filmed in 2012 or whatever, so it's just kind of coinciding.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so all these great name actors have to go into space and save the world. And it's gonna be awesome. Christopher Nolan, guys. Christopher Nolan!
Well, Snow, I want to thank you for telling me what the movie's about, because I saw the trailer and all I could figure out was Matthew McConaughey was going on a spaceship.
I think that's all it's about. No, I actually had to look up the plot. I watched the trailer and I couldn't figure it out either. But I did notice the dust. Do you guys know about the Dust Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if that was like a national history thing.
Well, I was
or
the
if
only one that
was
said
just
that. Does
I
nobody else
don't
other than me
really-
know what it is?
I might, but it doesn't immediately come to mind.
Yeah.
Huh. It's like a huge deal in Oklahoma because it's Grapes of Wrath type stuff. Anyway, we won't get into a history lesson today, but the world sees another Dust Bowl in Interstellar, the movie by Christopher Nolan, and you guys should go see it right after you play Civilization Beyond Earth.
Or watch the trailer.
Or just watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Alright, so I want to recommend another video. I did this like once before.
Is it your own video?
No, it is not my own video. Actually, I saw this video like right before we would have recorded a podcast, and then we ended up not doing that podcast. And I was so excited to recommend it back then. And then it's been a few weeks, and I was kind of like, do I want to still recommend it? Then I watched it again, and I'm like, yeah, this is a great video. So, I think
It stands the test of time.
Apparently so.
you guys have probably all seen it at this point, but
Yeah, I've seen it.
okay, yeah. It's called Assassin's Kittens Unity.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
And it's this this Russian guy. He has a YouTube channel called Mr. Cow TV, and he does some really, really cool stuff on there. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Freddie W, but with more cats.
And less subscribers. What the heck? How does he have more cats and less subscribers?
But although Freddie W does have some cat videos. But anyway, so it's kind of like for Assassin's Creed Unity, but rather than for people who are assassins, it has 4 kittens who are being assassins. And it's so adorable and yet epic at the same time.
The editing is fantastic.
Yeah, it's very, very well put together.
If you want to lose some time, I guess my further recommendation, go to that guy's channel, because he has a ton of awesome videos. Most of them include cats, some of them don't, but they're all really good.
Yep.
Alright, well, and on that note, I also have a recommendation for a funny video. You guys probably have not watched this ahead of time, because this is a half-hour-long video, but I have watched it like 4 or 5 times in the past 4 or 5 days, I think, just because I don't even know how to describe how hilarious it is. And what it is there's a show in the UK called Nevermind the Buzzcocks, and I have no idea why it's called that. And this is the first I've ever been exposed to it, is through this episode. But apparently it's some sort of music trivia themed show, with a heavy emphasis on comedy and sort of like along the lines of like, whose line is it anyway, where we're having a competition, but we don't really care about the competition. We just want to entertain. That's the impression that I got off of this. But the episode in question was their Christmas special one year, and it was Doctor Who themed. And they had, because apparently the person who hosts rotates in and out. The only regulars are the team captains on the 2 teams, but they'll rotate the host and they'll rotate the 2 team members on each team, right? And this particular episode, David Tennant, who was the 10th Doctor, he was hosting, and he had on the one team was Catherine Tate, who played Donna, and she's...
We have mixed opinions about Donna.
I like the actress,
but Catherine Tate is hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on the other team they have Bernard Cribbins, who played her grandfather on the show, and he is absolutely hilarious as well. Apparently he's the narrator for The Wobbles, which I didn't realize.
What's The Wobbles?
It's some like children's show, I think.
Is that The Wiggles?
Or is it The Wiggles? No, I think it's The Wobbles. But anyway.
No, he's saying, is it like the Wiggles?
Oh, I
was asking if it is the Wiggles.
Oh.
Who made a Wobbles? That seems like copyright infringement or something. If Apple can sue Samsung for having square phones, the Wiggles can sue the Wobbles.
But this show, it was absolutely hysterical. Just the interactions that they all had. You don't have to be a Doctor Who fan to enjoy it. I just highly recommend that you take the time to check it out, because there are some points in there where I still laugh out loud. It doesn't matter how many times I've seen it.
He's watched it 4 times today, and he laughs out loud every
and
time.
it's still hysterical. Yeah.
Well, good. What do we do now? The podcast is over.
I know.
There's no questions here.
The questions have... Our questions this week, rewind and listen to the whole podcast again.
It's true. We'll put a timestamp up for you.
Yeah, I'll throw up an annotation. Click here to go to the question.
Just make one of those like 10-hour endless loop videos.
Questions only.
It's this podcast episode.
We should do a Dem Guys montage. Question montage.
That could
set to music.
That could be very interesting.
Well, anyway, guys, this week we want to thank our guests, aMillionMonkeyz, or guests, however you want to put it.
Thank you for having all million of me.
Exactly. That's a weird sentence I probably didn't think I was ever going to hear in my life.
It's like a hive mind.
We are
He's
the
schizophrenic.
monkeys.
It's so creepy.
Yeah, we appreciate you being on. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for
And
having
we
me.
thank all of you out there for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye!
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.